Hello everyone, it's pyGuru this side, and today in this tutorial we are going to learn about how can we create a 2D site config using Silverbullet 1.4.1 Pro. Okay, so we have a site here vplug.com and we want to create a config for this. Our objective for this tutorial will be two things. First, we have to create a config and then we have to add the hits to a text file. Okay, so let's get started. Here I have my website open, vplug.com, and to create the config, first we have to log in to this website. So let's click on this login. Okay, and I'll just click on the inspect, right click and click on inspect so that we can analyze the network traffic here. Then we will enter our email address. So I have a temporary email created here, temporary account, and I'll enter my password. Okay, and then let's just hit on the login part. So if I click on login, it says logged in successfully, and we have a request made here. See, and now we have to imitate the same thing to our Silverbullet 1.4.1. So see, this is the request for the login where the URL is vplug.com, method is post. Then there are some headers, request headers, and in the payload we can see it's sending three variables: login, email, and password, where the value of login will be true always, and then we have to pass email and password. Now to do this, what we will do, first we'll open our Silverbullet 1.4.1, then we'll go to configs and let's just create a new config. We'll give it as the name as same as the website, and I'll change the author name here. Okay, let's click on accept and let's get started. So first thing that we have to do is we have to create a HTTP request. So click on this plus, then request, then HTTP request. Now let's just copy paste all the things that is being made in this request. So let's just copy this URL here and paste it inside this URL variable. Then method will be post. Okay, then scroll down, we have to pass the post data here. So the post data is inside payload. So in payload you can see this is a form data, and you can also see it's view URL encoded. Okay, so what we can do, just click on the view source and copy this entire part and open Silverbullet and paste it inside post data. Okay, here we have two things that will be dynamic, that is the email and password. So remove this email. Let me just copy this and paste it inside my text file here. Okay, here for email in Silverbullet we use the user variable. So you have to replace your email with user. Remember this angular brackets. Okay, and for password we have to use pass variable. So let's just pass here. Okay, now let me just copy this and paste it inside this post data variable. Make sure this is var, which is variable, or not text or anything else. Okay, so select var here. Then also you have to click in the content type, you have to select xww form URL encoded, because we saw that this is being passed in URL encoded form. Okay, now the next thing is let's just here you have to do one more thing. You have to make the URL encoded content. This is because the email that we have is furzyhat3@starmail.net. Okay, but here in the request you can see when it's passing or going to the server, this @ is being encoded into %40. Okay, so this is known as URL encoded in URL encoding. So you have to just turn on this URL encoded content. Now finally we have to add headers to our request. So for this we have to again go to the header section, scroll down, and you will see request headers. So click on the raw and copy everything here. Just paste it in your text file. We have to remove few things. First, remove this first line, post HTTP 1.1. Okay, then you have to remove the content length here. So let's just remove this. If you want, you can also remove this part, cookie. Okay, part ID. So let's just remove this as well. Now let me just copy this and paste it inside this header section. So click on custom headers and these three and remove everything and paste your own headers here. Okay, now let's see if we are able to log in successfully or not. Also, if possible, let's see it's giving some preview not. So it's not giving preview in browser, but let's see in the Silverbullet. So after doing this, let's just click on the start variable. So after that, just click on log. Okay. Here also, remember one thing. We need two things here to create the config. First, a valid account. So here is my valid account. This is a successful mail and successful password. Okay, means the email and password here is correct. And then you need an invalid account. So to create an invalid account, I just have changed this 3 to 4. You can use any invalid account. And then in the second case, I have just changed the password a little. Okay. So here this email does not exist, and here this password is incorrect in the second one. So after creating this request, you have to pass your email and password in the data variable. So let me just copy this here, okay, and paste it inside this data variable. So after doing this much, let's just start once again. And you can see we are able to log in successfully. It's in the response source, you can see it's giving me 0 and then my username. And then there is some PHP session ID, okay. So what we have to do, first of all, in the same request, we have to click on append response cookies. Okay, so just click on the response cookies because we have to, we will need this PHP session ID for further request. I'll show you next. But before moving to the next part, we have to check if we are able, if we have logged in successfully or not. So 0 in the request or response, 0 in this response source means we have logged in successfully. We are also getting an email account, username. Let's just try for an invalid account. Okay, so if I just copy this and paste it inside my data variable, remember this is an invalid account, invalid email. So if I just click on start, it will return me 2 and say email address is not registered. So this is an invalid account. So how can we know if we have logged in successfully or not? For this, we have to add a key check. So click on the plus and then conditions, then key check here. Okay. In the key check, first of all, let's add success. So in the success, we saw that there will be a 0. So just click on the plus, then source, and let me just copy this part. Okay. Instead of 2, we'll get a 0. Now we know that the username will be different. Here currently we are getting null, but because this is an invalid account. But for a valid account, the username will be different for each user. So we cannot just pass any one username. So we'll just check for if we are getting a 0 as the first value, it means it's a successful login. Now let's add few failures. So instead in type, select on failure, then add keys. So my key will be, if the email address is not registered, we can just copy this much and paste it inside here. Now I'm not copying this part because this may be different for you. Okay, this PHP session ID will be generated dynamically and may be different for different systems or browsers. So we'll not use this. Otherwise, this will not be considered a failure. Now this was for first. We know that we have one more possibility when the email, when the password may be wrong. So let me just copy this and let's try for an invalid password. Here the email is correct. So let me just make this 3 here. So actually it's 3. Okay. So here the email is correct but password is incorrect. So let's try with the invalid password and click on start. So here if the password is incorrect, we'll get a 1. Okay. So let me just copy till here and paste it inside this. Okay. Now, okay. So let's just add a constant string here. So click on plus functions and then click on constant and constant string. So here we'll just add a login successful. Okay. So remember the key check, there is this is checked when if no key found. It means if you have logged in, if you're not able to log in correctly, your further request will not be made. Okay, so we can just say here logged in successfully. Okay, so after this, what we can do, let's just try running once again, but with the correct email and password. Let me just start with incorrect this one. Okay, so see, it says found or key one null incorrect contains incorrect. Okay, so basically this is a failure. So see this, where this part or this block will not be executed. Okay, but if I try with a valid email and password, this will, it will be printed here. Set constant value to logged in successfully. So we have logged in successfully. Now the next part is what I want is I want to show my account details, or basically check the user account details and save it to text file. So for this we have to click on my accounts. So if we go to this URL, vcloud.com/index.php, and then question mark my account equals true, will get to this page. So what we have to do, we have to extract this information: name, email, city, state, mobile number and address, and save it to a text file. So let's see how can we do this. It's simple. We'll just copy this URL and create a new HTTP request. So plus, and then here we can directly use HTTP request here, or again you can just go to request HTTP and then HTTP request. Now we'll just change the URL here. Okay, method will be get. When you directly copy URL from browser, it will be a get method. Now the next thing is rest, I guess we don't need anything. Okay, so let's just try to run this and let's see what we are getting. So if I just run this and let's just search for any key. If I'm able to get this mobile number, it means I am successfully able to reach to this page. So just copy this mobile number and press Ctrl F and let's just enter and hit enter here. Okay, so see, we are able to get this information, mobile number. It means we are able to come to this page successfully. Okay. Remember in the first HTTP request, we have just clicked on here append response cookies. To come to this page, okay, you will need the PHP session ID. So that's why we have or just turned on append response cookies, because this will pass the PHP session ID directly to a request for us. So if you just scroll up a little, you will find the PHP session ID appended to the header. So if we scroll a little more, see here. Now this time we are getting the cart ID, but anyways, this part will be sent to the header. So that, see here, send cookies, we are sending the PHP session ID automatically, so we don't have to worry about it. Now we will not be making any further requests, so we don't need to enable append response cookies in this request. The next thing that we have to do is we have to extract these things. Okay, so for this what we will do, we have to click on plus and then click on parsing, then parse. The first thing that we have to extract is the name. So for this, we'll just search where is this name in the source code, click copy it and then search in the source code. So Ctrl F and then paste here, and this is the title, or we will just click on find next. Here is this username. Okay, so what we have to do, let me just close this, come to the parse. Now we have to create a variable here after HTTP request read response cookies. So we'll create a variable to extract this. So click after selecting the parse block, we have to select the source, parse as source. Okay, there are multiple options: source, headers and cookies. We will simply select source. Okay, so click on this, then we will give this a variable name. So we will simply say this is a name variable which stores the name of or the username. Then we have to with the method that we will use here is let me just copy this once again and search inside the source code. So if I just search it, see here, we will for this we will use the LR method, that is left string or right string. So see on the left of this username, this is the string, and on the right of this username, this is the string, or you can see simply the HTML tag. Okay, so we'll simply use this name. Okay, if you want, you can just change the label as name or anything that you want. Now let's try to extract this email. So for this, we will again create a new parse block. So simply select parse, and here we will give the variable name as email, and again we'll use the same lr method. So on the left of this email id, you can see this is the left string, and on the right we have the closing HTML tag. This Now let's try to extract this city. So for this city, we'll again select the parse block, and the method, let's try with lr method. So again, let me just copy this left string, and then on the right, this is the string. So we'll just copy this part and paste it here. But you will notice one thing: in the first parse block, we have the same left string and right string. In the third parse block, again we have the same left string and right string. So basically, this will create confusion. And if I just run this, you will see for the city variable as well, I'll get the same value as the name. So see, for name as well as city. Okay, I didn't give the variable name here, so let's just give this as city name. Okay, and let's try once again. So for the city variable also, you will see we will get the same result or the value as a name variable. This is because our let me just copy this once again and search in the string. So see here, for name, username, and for city, for state, for mobile number, and then for address, this is using the same left and right strings, or the HTML tag is same. So basically this will create confusion, and the Silverbullet will always find the first result or the first value, this first HTML tag, and always set this HTML tag or attribute value in our variable. So this is not going to work. So we have to use some other method for this. So since it's working for the name variable, we'll just leave it. For the city variable, we'll use another method, that is, we'll select on this value of city, right click on it and click on inspect. Okay, so let me just expand it a little. So here is our value. Then right click on this and click on copy and copy XPath. So basically we'll be using XPath. Now XPath is unique for each element on this website. Okay. So on Silverbullet, instead of LR method for the city value, we'll use the XPath. So click on XPath and then just pass this XPath that we have copied from Chrome. Okay. Now if I just run this, you will see for city, we'll get a unique value, that is the city name. So see the value, now it's working perfectly. Now let's move ahead. For state also, we'll using the same XPath method, because again the HTML tag for this is also same. So copy XPath, create new parse block here. So parse, and scroll down a little. This will be state variable. So state, we'll use the XPath method. Click on this, copy paste this, simply XPath. Remember, this is we have the XPath is unique for each variable here. City is for XPath, for city is different, for state is different. Also remember, if recursive is ticked, simply untick it, otherwise you will get a array as a value. Then let's click on create another parse block. This time we'll need to extract the phone number. So we'll click on this and then inspect, and then copy its XPath as well. So where is copy, and then copy XPath. So here we'll give the variable name as mobile, and then use the XPath method. Simply paste this. Then we will create one more parse block. So parse block, and this time we have to extract the address. Now for address, we can't use the address as a variable name, because see, there is already a address variable here, so we can't use this. We will use some another variable name, let's say full address. Okay. So for this, just right click on this, inspect, and then copy, and then copy XPath. Simply paste it here. Now we have extracted everything. let's just run once and then we will learn how can we append it to a text file. So see, we are getting everything. So state, mobile number and full address. We are able to extract everything. Now we have to save it to a text file. So for this, what we have to do, see, there is a folder in Silverbullet. Wherever you have installed Silverbullet, you will have a folder head by the name of hits. So I want to create a text file inside this hits folder. So first click on plus, then we will click on utility, then files. Then first of all, we have to create a file since we don't have any files. So just scroll down and create on file right. Okay. So here the path will create our hits, select our hits folder, and we have to create a text file. So just give a name here, txt. You can again change the name anyways. The extension will be .txt file. Okay. Content, I want to add a header here. So we have extracted few things. First of all, the name. So I'll simply type name here. Then I'll separate it by a let's say a pipe symbol name. Then what was the second value? Okay, name, email, city. So name, then city. This is a name, email, then city, then state, phone number. So state, then mobile, then address. Now we have selected text here. Okay. So in text we can use address, but if it's a var variable, you cannot use address because we have already address you just saw there in the source section. So after this, we'll just click add a slash n so that next line will be added from a new line. Otherwise, it will be continued after this. So we'll just add a slash n. This will create a text file for us. Now we have to append these lines that we have extracted or values to a text file. So for this, click on plus, then utility, files, and we have to select file append. Okay. So in file append, we have to just append this value that we have created. So path will be again hits /vplat.txt file. Content, this time we will select variable because we have created these variables and we want to insert these value in the text file. Now for the variable name that we have, the variable that we have created as the name, here name, same as name. You can give it username to avoid confusion, let's say. So let's just say username, or you can give it full name, anything that you. Okay. If you want to use this variable, if you want to print it or use this or write it to a text file, you have to use angular brackets here. So name, email, in the same order, was city, then there was state, then there was mobile, then we have what was last variable name. We have used full address, so just copy this and paste it here in angular brackets. After that, we will just add a slash in here. So this will create a file for us. Let's just click on start now and let's see if it's working or not. Okay, so row content to hits vplug.txt appended content. So if I just go to my folder, you will see a file will be created here and everything will be appended to the text file. See? So yes, it's working now. Our config is done, so I'll just end it by adding a function constant string, and then here I'll simply type config by edit its file, copy it, paste it here, and here I'll simply type config by. So this is the end of this tutorial, guys. If you love this video, leave a like or a dislike. In the next tutorial, we'll learn for a API site. So this was for a 2D site. In the next tutorial, we'll learn it for API sites. So this is guide. If you love this video, leave a like or a dislike. You can to my channel, subscribe it. Thank you. See you in the next tutorial.